For the 2013 Best Baking Contest at the Big E, the contestants, they were asked to create and compete with a treat that will wow the fair's judges. And Michele Roy Curtis of Westford, she was a top finalist in the Best Baking Contest. And you're going to show us how to make the item that you won on. It was the almond bread.
Yes.
Now, how does one go about starting an almond bread like this?
Well, first you should proof the yeast, and actually a lot of people are just so afraid of
Terrified.
baking because of what they're going to do to the yeast.
Well, you know what it is? It's because yeast is science. To proof a yeast, it's so many different processes that I don't understand.
And it's actually quite easy. Just take some warm water and about 105 degrees, little sugar, your packet of Fleischmann's yeast, give it a little stir.
And this is rapid rise yeast.
Now this is the rapid rise, so technically you don't have to proof the rapid rise, but the regular yeast you do. And once that's all stirred, set it aside and forget about it.
Now, how long do you forget about it for until you have to use it
Until
again?
it just bubbles. You're just looking for some bubbles to form on the top of the surface, and
then
after
you know
that,
it's
then
done.
you can add it, exactly, then you can add it in with your rest of your liquids, and just, you're off and running and start making your recipe.
This is a whole lot easier than I thought it would be.
It really is a piece of cake.
So now we're doing braided almond rolls, and I see here 3 pieces. Now I assume we're going to be braiding these.
Yes, we are. What first we're going to do is take some of our almond filling, and if you'd like to spread this out, just
I would love to. Throughout the
spread
whole
away
thing?
throughout.
Now
from stem to
how does
stern.
one make almond filling, or can you just buy it at the grocery store?
It actually is almond paste, and there's some sugar in here, and confectioner sugar, and regular sugar, and you just egg yolk, or egg white rather, and you're just mixing it all up in the either food processor or your stand mixer, whatever's best, and
getcha.
you're just making a nice smooth paste. And then once we get this all spread out, then we're going to roll it.
So what's the atmosphere like for the Big E Baking Contest? Is it tense? Are you friends with the people? Are you trying to sabotage them?
Oh, no, no, no. I mean,
Okay, good.
Year after year, we find that it's the same people that go back, and it's kind of like old home week at the Big E, because
to
it's
see all
the
your
same
friends.
faces that you saw a year ago, and it's always the same people that keep entering year after year, hoping this will be their year. So, I mean, generally, for the past several years, my mother and I have been competing head-to-head.
Oh, really?
In the contest.
Does it
Oh,
get,
yeah.
and it never gets tense?
No, no, no. We always joke about, will one of us go home with at least one ribbon this year? And actually, this year my mother came in second.
So you both placed?
Yes, we did.
Very cool.
So that was a lot of fun.
So we spread out the almond paste over these 3 pieces of dough.
Right. This is the sweet dough that we'd mixed up ahead of time.
So it's a sweet. What makes it sweet?
There's butter and there's eggs in it.
That'll do it.
And the
That'll do
sugar.
it.
So yeah. And so what? If you'd like to get your hands in on this,
As always.
and just roll, and we're going
Okay.
to try to make it as tight as possible.
There we are. And now we're rolling all 3 of these, right?
We're rolling the 3 of them.
Is this kind of like a challah bread?
You know, not really. I've never made challah bread, so.
Okay.
But challah is
I know
a sweet.
it's a braided bread. That's the only reason I thought of it.
Oh, okay. So you can actually take any type of sweet dough and make it into a braid or whatever you want to make for your design and shape. And I mean, I've done this in. Here, we can pull it a little closer.
Now I know you're doing this on a marble piece too. Is there any reason for that, or you just love how it looks?
No, I actually like using the marble because your bread doesn't stick, or your dough doesn't stick to it. Now, typically when I roll it out, I do put some flour down just to be sure that there isn't going to be any sticking, because nothing's worse than trying to pick this up and then have half of it stick and
have to
half
start
of it.
over again.
Exactly.
Now, Michele, we only have about 1 minute left, so shall we
Okay.
braid?
We shall braid. Okay, so now
we squeeze all of them together.
squeeze all together. And how are you at braiding?
I mean, you've seen the length of my hair. Not great. Nor do I have sisters. But is it this easy, just a crossover
So it's
braid?
this easy. You're just doing it, making a braid. And if I knew how to make French braids, hey, I'd do a French braid. But
And now you end it, you put it in the oven at what temperature and for how long?
well, you're going to let it rise for about an hour, and then
Before you put it in the oven?
Before you put it in, so you want it to get nice and puffy the way that the end product is. And so once you're all
Puffy
satisfied
enough?
with how puffy it is, you're going to take an egg wash, which is just an egg yolk and some water, brush it over.
Now, is that
the
to give
top.
it the golden brown that we can see on the
that
final
gives it
product
the
here?
sheen. Throw it onto your baking sheet, bake at 375 for about half an hour, 35 minutes. Do a little tap on it to see if it's hollow. That gives you the.
Oh,
that
that's
lets
how you know it's like when
that
you
the
test a
bread-
melon in the grocery store, you
Exactly.
just knock on it a
You just
little.
knock on it,
Okay.
and you know that it's done. And then when it's lukewarm, just make a little almond glaze with confectioner's sugar and milk and some almond extract, and then drizzle it over and put some sliced almonds on top, and you're good to go.
Michele, congratulations. This looks very tasty.